Hi, this is Rio. I would like to have an introductory video how to use MStudio functions. As you know, MStudio has a lot of features. It can do almost everything what people wants to make. So the starting window, as you see here, is I just make a 3 virtual electric whiteboard where we can show different content there. So the concept of MStudio has virtual studio where you have 3 or 4 or whatever, but basically we have a one virtual electric board and another electric whiteboard, and the other screens you can show, you can bring up there, up to 6 windows you can bring up there to show, and there you can change anything what you want to show. So right now we have typically we have one virtual screens, but I just put two more screen to show you where I'm doing. So this is what my screen in front of me. There is a USB camera. I just make a cropping to show this screen only for my 2 windows there, where we have this window. I mean this screen has this part, and this part I can show on this screen to magnify what's happening in this monitor. So basically we can put anything there, anything here, and anything there. For example, here I can bring let's say camera video. So this is camera there. I can bring my notebook from my notebook in front. So anything I can change here. So I can make a next slide, something like that. This is basically switcher mixer on the virtual screen. The first step normally you have to do is background video or image. So let me start how we design the studio. So this is the chroma key. So chroma key, let's assume you have a one-touch chroma key. If you click, you have a chroma key like this. The only thing you have to do is background selection. So if I open my window, and then here I can bring this screen to explain the background change. I want to bring this window bigger, which means I can just bring this one to show, to explain where I'm doing now. I can slightly make bigger like this. So this is what this screen is showing. So you will see quite big screen. So this screen is a switcher mixer where I switch because this is thumbnail too small. I click here and then take it will go. For example, if I make let's say the camera, if I take camera, you see this camera, I take this one. So if I take this one and then take means if I take, it goes to like this. So I will go back to this one to show the screen. It is like this. So on this screen you see the this is the one of the website. I just typed the nice image, then Google show many nice image, and you can bring, for example, here is worldsource.com or many sites showing you beautiful pictures. So I download some picture to have something. There are many download. I copy this one, and of course you have to check if this is really free or not. But most of the picture, there are many free sites, and also I'm downloading just HD video, which is normally free. So what I made here is I just make let's close this one because I don't have to show this. In the menu, if you see the program setting part, let's go back to program setting part. You see here I have a one picture. So if I click here, and it shows the list. So I just take this one as a background. So let me go back to here. So this one is actually different from this one. Actually, what I select here is this picture. So if you look at the menu, the color is changed, which means there is a hue and color. So if I change this one, it will change. For example, let's go back to the big screen to show how it looks like. If I change the hue here, you see the color is changing. You see there is a slider. I mean, this slide is moving, so this changing slide, you can make a different color, whatever you want. This is a very interesting function we are providing you to have a different looks of background. So I just make this kind of background. Or if you select this one, I mean the let's go back to bigger screen. So there are some picture. I just copy this one because there is a file you can load whatever. If I select this, let's see what happens if I select this and go back to there. You will see the background looks like a simple. And the speed of scrolling, of course in this menu there is a scroll speed control, so you can make a slightly scroll rate change, and then if you change it, it reduces the speed to make a different looks. Of course the color change, make many different colors you can change it like this. So let's go back to any scene. For example, this is one of the scene, this is the other thing, and then I can change the color, the different colors. I select a little bit this kind of color because my necktie has these functions. Okay, after that, if you see here, I mean here we have this one, but if you go here, a little bit different thing is showing compared with the background here, that you see the difference. There is a pure background, and here we have slight different. That means, so if you look at the screen, you see, let's go back to this menu, status, I mean the setup here. You see there is a wall, which I just adding the wall, and then the wall menu has a different one. Whatever you are seeing, now we have four scene. This is the first scene. You know, we have four designed scene, which you can make a different scene layout. You can make yourself bigger, or monitor 1 is bigger, monitor 2 is bigger, whatever you want, you can make it very easily. So for example, now this is a screen 1. So if you click here, and then this is a resizing, this is a positioning. Let's try to do this way, and then click scene 1, and then make a slightly bigger and smaller, right? So every this we call this is a screen. So every screen you can change size. This is a sizing, this is a position, this is rotation. And interesting thing is here is curved. So if you make a slightly curve, you see the screen is curved. So you can make a curve, and then here the rotation. If you make this rotation, you can make something like this. And again here we have graphic and frame. Now we show frame. So this is a frame size. You can make a thicker or smaller. For example, let's make a slightly change. You see the frame is changing, and even in frame there's a hue control, so you can change the color frame. So the frame color you can change. And of course, if you select frame, there are the frame part has many frame design we provide you, so you can select any frame to make a different style of the frame. For example, if I click here, you see the frame change like this. So this is just a Photoshop graphic you can make, but if you make one color, you can change colors from here too. So that way you can assign. By the way, once you change, it will influence what you selected here. To make every frame change to every scene, you have to click this one. Or if you want to make this frame change to here, you have to drag this part and move. Then they will show this component frame only copied to here. So let me show you how I move. So this one, if I move this one, show, and there is the icon which means copy object only. If you click this object only, that means this frame setting copy to here. So if you click that scene, let's see what the frame is. If you go there, the frame is here. This frame and this frame is different because we only copy that frame setting to there. So whatever you make a change on every size, you can size change here, and then from here to there, if you drag and drop and select that part as I mentioned, then this size is copied to here. So every part, graphic, frame, size, or all the colors, everything you can copy to 4 different scenes by drag and drop here, and then you will see the menu like I did. So this is the basic concept we make. So the every 4 scene here you can change. Even your position of vector, size of vector, you can change easily there. So let me bring some of the wall here to show nicely with other scene. For example, now if you see here there is a height. So I didn't make this part, the wall which I showed you is hidden here. The hiding and enabling is showing on here. So if you hide, this one is hide and show. Now it's show. So on scene 1, I want to make this wall to have the enable of the wall because it is hidden. So if you go here, and you will see the height. This scene, this special scene, I mean scene 1, I'm using wall height. So if I select this part and they show what I selected, and then you have to press here the show. So if I show, it will mixed with the background, which is slowly scrolling, and the front layer. So from here also we have the alpha change. So let's see what happens if I slide. You will see this highlight button. If I make this way, it means completely this wall is showing because wall is in front of the background. So if you slightly move, you will see only the background. But if you make a slight add, the both image is mixed. So that way you can adjust. And here again, if you have a hue color, you can change different color range. That way we can change the different background for different layer. Here, if I select a this is a scene 2. If you make a scene 2 with a different the wall, let's say I selected the scene like this, or whatever. Let's make let's say some video, which is the scenery of the mountain. So if I select that kind of nature, the scene 1 is here. The scene 1 is copied because I just make the copy here, and every scene has a scene which I selected here because on here we make a button here set to all. So whatever you change here will influence 4 scene automatically. So if you click here, it will have all scene to have that picture, but every transparency we set here and every hue color is not influenced, only the picture, because you have set all here. But if you have this option off, let's say this is off, if I click, they say set scene 4. So whatever you change here, it will influence only set 4. For example, let's go back to select this this nature. If you go this one, this nature is influenced on this picture. I mean this scene. And then let's go to scene 2, see what happens. It doesn't show the nature scene. And then let's try one more time on this scene to have this picture like this kind of picture. So this is an animated video which will provide together with MStudio library. MStudio has a MStudio content directory where we have all the walls, scenery, background, desk, all the many different examples we provide so you can change. So let's go back to here. This is what we made. Actually, the first thing is we hide this one. So let's try to hide. Then this is the original image. So this one we make an effect. This one we have a previous setting. This one we have a nature. So all that way of flexibility is the concept you can make yourself. So I hope you understand what we have. The summary is here we have the background. So in the background you can select, and then you can make a scroll control slightly faster, slow, something like that. And then if you put slightly faster, as you see, the background is moving. And also you can select many different things, whatever you want. You can bring this kind of things, or this kind of things, or this kind of things. Everything will completely make your studio very different. So depending what your lecture is, you can create. You will have unlimited background picture, but without any animating video creation. The MStudio providing you the capability of scrolling, rolling very easily. This is also, you can make this kind of vertical scroll. There is a vertical scrolling function, or you can make scroll off. I mean the horizontal part, and speed control, color change, everything is on this menu. So after this one, you can also change this every scene. I mean, for scene, you can make different looks, adding the wall or another layer. As I show you, we have a layer, many layer you can put there, and use this one. Right now, I use one over here to use this one. Because I want to show what screen is here, what live camera is there. So one of the interesting function of cropping I bring here. This is we call screen 2. This is screen 1. This is screen 2. We show. What does it mean is we have a name here: screen 1, screen 2, actor. Actor is me. Which is chroma key screen right now. Actor is here, screen 1, 2, and there is a 3 more layer where you can change the name here. You can define this one. I just put the camera. So if I click here, I just make a camera. But if you type different one, you can define wall, background, or front desk, or whatever you can bring your texture to use as you want. So what I made here, screen 1 and the other 3 layer, the difference is the framing. So you see here we have no frame, but this 2 has a frame. So screen 1 and 2 works as like a virtual electric whiteboard. So we can make that one. This 2 has more flexibility than the other layer. Almost same, but we just add frame to have different. For example, here, if I click here, the camera 1, I select the camera 1. See, we have a menu on graphic. There's no frame menu here, and no frame, but there's only text, which means this text, if you click here, we have a menu, so you can put name on here, the title or scrolling, this kind of things can do. So right now we have a title here. This is for camera titling, which means on top of camera always we have a titling there. But if you put the title on this camera, if you type whatever here, you will have title on here. So let me try to make some title, which is monitor, I mean the monitor 1 I type. So here I just trying to make a title, monitor 1, which is my let's say TV 1 is better to understand. TV or monitor screen. So if I have this text window with the you see now this text is here, and then you will see a very small title here, and then here the title I can make a background. Let's say which color is good. Let's differentiate the green. So I just take a green, and then this one with alpha, there is a alpha value, green alpha, so I just make a green. So you see there is something coming out, screen showing, I'm sorry, I have to use my pointer, screen something. And then there is the size of the text I can increase like this, and then I can make a text color. So I just make a black color. So let's make any color here, and the color is coming, and we can make a font change, or I can make a bold, extra bold, whatever, normal, let's say heavy, something like that. See what happens. In this screen you see here the this camera, I just bring the window here. Of course you can resize, positioning, everything what you can do. And here the text title coming here, so it will show on here. Or you can make a scrolling here, so we can make a scroll enable, and then this text will come out like this on the screen. So this is how we make something to make a background. The green is too bright, so I can make alpha change, slightly change like this, and then you will see all the text titles over here. To show the title more bright, I want to make a text color, for example yellow color, and this one will show like this. So that means every here layer has a capability of titling, either a fixed title or moving title. And same time the camera means the virtual camera, which I'm showing, has a title, so all title will come out here. Again, every flexibility of component change of title, you can make a title on this virtual scene or that scene. Any scene you can make it different. But if you have copy to all, means every typing will influence every same scenes there. So that's the concept of copy to all scene, and also independent scene change. So that's a general idea how you can make your studio by yourself, and it is quite easy, but anyway you have to be careful for every change. Then once you practice a little bit more, you can make a good design. As I mentioned, the background from the menu, you can make a scroll change to have this one, and then you can add on top of this, like this way or like that way, anything you can modify. Because from the research, the people said the scene change and background change really influence the concentration of students. So using this way, every scene, whatever the scene one, I won't change the camera. Camera means not real camera. There's some misunderstanding between this camera and virtual camera. The virtual camera means this camera. The real camera is me or another thing. So let's bring this camera, click here, see what happens. If the camera selected, and if you make a moving, this one, that one, see what if I put the mouse here and move, what's happening here is, if you make this way, like a camera move. So the total camera moving slightly left and right, or if you click right button and bring up and down, means zooming in, zooming up. This is a digital camera movement. So this is not actually the real camera, which is my camera. Now I'm just using PTG USB low-cost camera. So you see if I move the camera, this is a real camera movement. This is a little bit the contrast change from here, and also if you make a zooming, then makes a zoom something like this. This is a real lens camera of the real camera, which you need to set before you start. But anyway, the size of the actor you can change. So the first scene looks like this. I amplifying myself by using virtual camera. So I just want to make a camera something like this way, slightly bigger, and then these two scenes, and this one become relatively small. Of course, from here you can make this one slightly change. Let's make this part change, and then if I select this one, you see the blue the boundary showing this one is selected, and then let's make this scale change, this position change. So first you see the highlight. When I move the mouse, there is highlight. Here is a highlight, and then I can make a smaller to make a smaller size. And this color and this color is not matched. So I want to make a color change of this frame. I just go to frame. Frame means there is a frame. You can select frame, and then change hue color change to make this way. Then this border and background border slightly match, or you can make a transparency more to have matching with background. So there's a two slide. Slide to show this one. I want to make bigger. So there is a slide of the frame. You can change that way. So this is what generally we are doing to match with the graphics. So this is a very powerful tool for you to change everything beautiful. And again, one more part of flexibility is, let's go back to here, because this is the same screen as screen 1. This is screen 2. So let's select the screen 2. See what happens here is, let's amplify this part. So screen 2, right now here, I select screen 2, so the blue border means this one is selected. Screen 2 has some of this cropping. So there is a fixed, there is a free or fixed. If I make this, right now is free, which means you can make this part. If you click here and move, see what happens. If I click here, move. See, this is a camera. From my USB camera we have this, but I don't want to show this part. I want to make this part to concentrate. Then you can make a cropping like this. And here one thing you have to remind here is there's a free or fix. This one is a little bit makes people complicate, but again here when I make this part outside, the frame doesn't show. So if you move here, you can go. This is a cropping of the screen. This is very powerful tools we have in our MStudio. So once you have that part, see what happens if I press this one to make a free, and this one showing the screen with all scaled, which means this fixed means the showing content on this screen 2 is always everything what you have on this selection. Now I select this camera, and then this one will be showing there. If I select this one, you see this is a switcher. So if I select this one, this is showing, but anyway it becomes scale. So when I make here the clicking here, which means free means this movement is this way. So free means so scaling free. So let's go back to this one. If I click this one, I won't hide this one to show, only do this to screen like this to specify. Again, in the free, you have to make this frame always slightly matching with this. So this is the way how we make a cropping and scaling. Imagine when you have let's say one UHD or HD camera for multiple peoples. They are debating 5 people. Then you can crop every person using this capability to put there on the screen. So you can make one actor here, one actor there. So you can using this kind of cropping. For example, when you have one camera for all audience, it's very wide. So you can crop horizon part like this and take here to show all these people. You don't have to show all others place except the debating peoples. So this is the whole idea. We have a switcher mixer for that part. So whatever file, screen, monitor, everything you can show here. So this part, what we can bring here for the switcher, because MStudio has a capability of bring content from file, video from your computer, and also you can bring from external cameras, and also you can bring from your monitors like I'm showing. This is the screen. So let me show what we are doing. So you see we have a 4 camera, 4 monitor. I'm sorry, my room is very complicated. So 1 monitor, 2 monitor, and 2 big monitors on my front the wall. So this is monitor 1, this is monitor 2, this is monitor 3 and 4. So if you click here, add live, add a file, you can imagine this kind of picture, video, whatever you can bring, but add live. And there is another thing which is called what is this? Add windows. So I will explain what is this one can be shown in any of this. So this is an input selection as like a switcher mixer. So when I see the cross window, then you will see 1, 2, 3, 4. 3. And this one is showing content switching on here. This one showing content switching on here, and this one showing for myself. I can select, for example, height means the screen doesn't show me. If I show myself coming out, so if I remove this one, you can imagine this one working as like a switcher mixer screen. So if you bring here, it becomes me, or you can bring height or bring that way. You can make a virtual or height. So that means this is a switcher. Here, if I press whatever here, see what happens. If I press this one, if I press that one, if I press that one, if I press that one, everything coming to here as like you are doing switcher mixer. So see what happens if you want to bring more content here or here. So the difference between this video, this screen and this screen is there is a show mixer. We show this one. See what happens if I click here. If I click here, it will make a simplify. In that case, any double click of this one will show something from, for example, when I have my PowerPoint, this is my PowerPoint screen from my notebook. So if I click here, it will show PowerPoint there because it's a switcher. So if I click, immediately they show this one. If I click, they show the camera. So now I just bring from this window, the second monitor here. This is second monitor, and I assign this one here to show what's happening in my second screen. And the first screen, of course, as you see here, my render output. You are watching video is showing here, so I'm just speech watching my video there. And then from here, this is operating GUI where you can switch changing scenes. Here changing scenes. Here you have a switcher mixer where you can change all this content on this monitor. So that way we switch and change. So let me try to bring some content here. For example, let's see what happens if I have add file. There is a add file command. So if I add a file, they will bring what file you want to show. Usually in MStudio, which is located in C, and then MStudio I believe is here, .envision, and there is a MStudio directory. So in MStudio directory, always they have, the MStudio, if you click this one, it makes full screen without any other things. If I click, because this is open, let me have this one big to have this screen big. So let's make a big screen. So I remove everything, only this output screen coming out here. I just have let's bring some files here. So add file means if I bring add file, it will show there. It's like I did something. I just open any Windows. There is a file, MStudio, and then MStudio directory. You should remember the D content here. This is a very important part. D content. So this D content has a directory. We are providing you in this directory the background picture, the desk, something, but basically we are providing these two. There is a titles. Titles I can explain later. Anyway, there is an image and videos. Let's go back to image. So if I type the image, has all the content, background, crop, flow and ceiling, frame, left right screen, logo, title, because this MStudio is the simplified version from iStudio. The iStudio has a name of layer. So usually we have a floor, we have a wall, we have a left screen, we have a right screen, and ceiling. So all the necessary part we put here. For example, if you go back to the frame, if I select the frame, you will see a lot of different frames we are providing like this. So whatever any frame you can click it, you can bring. So now to show the file, I just go to the image. Let's go back to the D content. Let's have some background, and then anything like there are many beautiful backgrounds, so let's bring some picture. This is just example pictures I just use. So there is let's say this this kind of beautiful photo I can bring here. See this one coming out. So what does it mean? Means if I click here, it shows this, or camera, or PowerPoint, or my notebook. So anything what you show on your PowerPoint is showing there. So if I click that menu one more time, it will bring like this. If I click, the click of this one, the icon here, if I click here, it goes to here. And then if I click this one on this screen, and this part, if I click there, it shows this camera. So this part myself can become full screen when you click this part. For example, there is a menu. So this part is a switcher button. If you click this one coming big. If you click this one coming big. And any content here, if you click this one will show, like I did. For example, I make this picture which I select, and also here I can select this, and then see what happens for this one. On this menu, you see there is a button. So whenever you press here, now we have a button. We are showing this scene, number 4. But when you want to make this scene big, just click this one, make it bigger, and you speak about this. Or you can make this part bigger. So from here you can make a screen out. So I'm pressing this. So this is all switcher mixer. But again, when you bring this one, if you press this button one more time, it will change back to this scene 4. From scene 4, you can also change any content there. That's why the MStudio is a general platform where you can change any content by yourself. So one more time, if I summarize what we are talking is, we have any switching mixing switch for the content. Of course, there's an effect. You can select the effect to have a different switching mixing. For example, if you click here, there is we have a menu. If you look at here, there is a fade. So you can make a fade, or you can make a random. You can make a effect list. So any effect also you can create by yourself. So there are many flexibility there. I don't have to explain every detail, but if you try, you will find many interesting features which you can change. So this is a general idea how you build a studio, how you manage the size of the screen, and then setting for 4 scenes and go. So next video I will show how you make a scene change, these kind of things. Thank you very much.